What do you think is the one thing that differentiates successful people from the rest? Or what is the one thing that makes successful people successful? It might seem there isn't one thing but many. That might have some truth in it. However, they all come down to the single character or habit. If you want to know why most people would never leave the cycle of the poverty, how to tell if the kid is going to be successful when he is just 4 years old, and what the rich parents teach their kids unconsciously that makes them successful. They stick around because we are going to answer these questions and many more. When we see a successful person, we tend to think that they might be smart, talented, or just pure genius. Of course, that's true to the certain examples. Still, the research showed that delaying gratifications is main reasons what separates successful people from the rest of us. It is when they resist of temptation of the immediate smaller reward in to receive the more sustainable reward later. It's when you stop scrolling your Instagram feed and get back to work, or stop watching YouTube and start getting ready for tomorrow's tests, or hit the gym at night instead of going to the party. The research shown that being able to delay gratifications is a great habit. It leads to academic success, physical health, psychological health, and social compromises. In the 1960s, Walter Mischel conducted the experiment at Stanford University in the empty room with nothing but two chairs and 4-year-old kids. A marshmallow and told the children that here is the deal. I am going to leave the room and you have two options. First, you can ride the bell that's besides the marshmallows and at any point and eat the marshmallows. Or second, wait until I come back about 15 minutes later and I will get another marshmallow, so you will earn two marshmallows. Sounds like a good deal, right? This message was a small reward now or bigger reward later. So, what did the children choose? Some children broke down and ate the marshmallows. It contrasts others were able to delay gratifications and earned the promised two marshmallows. Uh, Marshall found the children were able to wait longer if they used certain cool distractions techniques, covering their eyes, hiding under the desk, singing songs, or imagining pretzels instead of the marshmallows if in front of them, or if they changed the way I thought about the marshmallows, focusing on its similarity to cannot ball rather than on its delectable taste. There is where the existing part starts. After many years, in 1981, Mitchell decided to check out those kids to find out how they are doing in their lives, and if the experiment he conducted can tell us something about these kids. The children who waited longer demonstrated a strike array of the advantages over their peers. Teenagers, they had higher set scores, social competence, self-confidence, and self-worth, and were rated by their parents as more mature, better able to cope with the stress, more likely to plan ahead, and more likely to use reasons. They were less likely to have to conduct these orders or high levels of impulsivity and aggressiveness. As adults, the high deleted were less likely to have drug problems or other addictions behaviors or get divorced. The experiment went as far as showing influence other over their body mass. Each minute that pre-showered was able to delay gratifications translated at 2% reductions in the body mass index 30 years later. On the other side, kids who couldn't wait long enough for the second marshmallow as teenager struggled to make friends, had a difficult time handling stress, and struggled to stay focused. Does that mean that if as a kid you couldn't wait for the second candy, you are not going to be successful later in life? Well, the answer isn't straightforward. It is a little bit more complicated based on the Walter Mitchell research. Self-control or being able to delay gratifications is the muscle. You can train it like any other muscles on your body. You might not achieve a huge success instantly, but over the long run you will be fine. Remember, the reward must have some value to you. Without the reward that is meaningful, providing delayed or immediate gratifications serves little purpose, as the reward is not a strong reinforcement of the desired behavior. In other words, if you want to delay gratifications, make sure you pick significantly bigger rewards. Let's say you have decided to save money to invest, but then Apple released a new iPhone that you eagerly wants to buy. To avoid the temptations to buy the new iPhone, you have to make the crystal clear to your brain why saving that money is going to result in the bigger gratifications later, such as financial freedom. But in 2018, Tyler Watts, who was inspired by the Mitchell's experiment, decided to redo the experiments and found out that delaying gratification has more to do with the income of your parents. If your parents are rich, you are more likely to wait for the second marshmallow and end up successful later in life. While if you are born in a poor family, you are more likely to ring the bell and eat the marshmallows. There is a fantastic article on it by the Atlantic, but I will summarize it in a short. Watts used a much larger sample, 900 kids compared to 90 kids at the Mitchell used, and also more representative of the general populations. In the terms of the race, ethnicity, and parents' educations, they included factors such as the income of the child's households to explain children's ability to delay gratifications and their long-term success. He found little evidence for the idea that being able to delay gratifications leads to better outcomes, but rather the ability to wait for the second marshmallow has to do more with the child's social and economic backgrounds. Therefore, that backgrounds not the ability to delay gratifications. It's what's been kids' long-term success. Here is the experiment. The kid whose mother had a college degree and waited for the second marshmallow did not better in the long run. They didn't do better in school or in the test or even in their behavior. The same things was found among kids whose mothers did not have the college degree, but when these two groups were compared together, kids from the wealthier households waited for the second marshmallows did significantly better compared to the kids from the low-income household. So the researchers came to the conclusions that for the poor kids, daily life housed fewer grad guarantees. They might be there might be food in the fridge today, but there might not be tomorrow. So where is the risk that comes with the waiting? And even if their parents promise to buy more sweets tomorrow, often that promise gets broke out of financial necessity. Meanwhile, for the kids who came from the families with the parents who are better educated and earn more money, it's typically easier to delay gratification because experience tends to tell them that adults have the resources and financial stability to keep their promise. And even if they don't end up getting the marshmallows, their parents will get them different sweets. There are plenty of the other researchers that prove this. One of them is still books scarcity, why having too little means so much. How poverty can push people to settle from the short term rather than the long term rewards. For poor kids, the second marshmallow seems unreal when the child has reason to believe that the first one might vanishing right under his nose. Many teenagers, often growing up in the poverty, choose to work long hours in the poverty-paid jobs to support themselves and their families somehow, despite better recovering the bills. The teenagers still splurge to on the payday, buying things like the McDonald's or the new clothes. Over research shows that low-income parents are more likely than the wealthiest parents to give in their kids' requests for the sweet treats. These findings illustrate that poor parents try to indulge their kids when they can, while wealthier parents tend to make their kids wait for the bigger rewards. An ice cream for the Snickers bar might seem foolish, but things like this are often the only indoctrinate poor families can afford. And for poor children in Duggan, in a small bit of the joy today can make life feel more happier, especially when there is no guarantee of the more joy tomorrow. It's something like the cycle of poverty that most people will never escape. I just want to remind you guys that I have started a brand new channel called to these thoughts where I talk about the interesting stuffs like will the economy collapse because of the virus, how long will take it us to create the vaccine, if the Rothschild's family is the rich as we think, or even things such as the Illuminates is real or not. Some fantastic facts about the World War II and a lot of the other interesting stuff. So hit the channel by clicking in the link in the descriptions and subscribe.